What's going on, podcast fam? It's your boy Jason Crick, aka the Friendly Neighborhood Dreadhead, and I am here with another interview for you guys with another indie comic writer. She she dabbles a little bit in the horror adventure genre, one of my favorite genres, horror, of course. And she is going to be telling us about her upcoming project. Let me introduce you to Miss Corissa Grant. How you doing?
Good. Hi, thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being on. So, um, so tell me, what's it like to, jump into the indie comic space for you?
Yeah, it was. I didn't think ahead, so it was quite a jump. I wrote these with a co-writer. I actually was a role player, and so we have like 10 novels written out, and five of them is this series. And we just thought, you know what? It's too good of a story to waste. Let's make it into a comic book because I used to read comics when I was a kid, and I just wanted to see my characters on, see them come to life on the page and all that stuff. So I didn't even think about it. I was like, okay, let's do it. And I hired an artist, and then I was going to sleep, and I was writing to my co-writer, and I was like, I don't know how to write a script. Like I have no idea. So she's like, you'll figure it out. So the next day I got up, I watched videos, and I was like, I can do this. And I wrote it all in script one in one day, and yeah, it had to be turned into two because my letter was like, you want to see the picture with the dialogue, right? And I was like, what?
Right.
So dialogue is the biggest change from writing a novel to a comic book because you can't write whatever you want.
Right.
It takes up space.
So I'm guessing you wrote novels before you started comics, I'm guessing?
Yeah, not for it was just for fun. It wasn't published or anything, but they're long. They're like 90,000 words each, and we have 11 technically written, and five is a spin-off, five is this story, and then five is a prequel, or one book is a prequel. So it was just for fun. It wasn't something we had planned, but in 3 years we wrote so much, and we're still writing. We're still we're working on series two for the and more of the prequel. So yeah, I had nothing to do with writing comic books before 6 months ago, so it's completely new. So,
Okay, well, before we get into your comic, I do want to, or talking about the comic, I do want to show the people at home some of these images or these covers for your comic. So, here you go, guys. Let me just go ahead and switch over. Uh, for me to show the people the promo vid that you have for your comic. All right, let's go ahead and watch this promo vid. It's going to take a minute. Let me get the share screen up. No, not that one. Here it is. Share that. All right. And put that in there. All right, y'all. And here is the promo vid for Worthy Chaos Redemption. Redemption, a horror comic classic. A horror adventure comic. Let me just go ahead and play that. Can I? This is not the right one. Is it? Oh, here it is. I like. Now, one thing that does step out to me a little bit, it seems you get a little bit. I don't know if it's like the way that it's colored or the way that it's drawn, but it has kind of like the old school like 80s, late 70s vibe to it.
Yep.
And in my opinion, that's where some of the best comics came out was the 70s,
Exactly.
80s.
Yeah,
And
I'm an 80s girl. I was born in the 70s, so I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so yeah.
okay, so what was your inspiration for Worthy Chaos?
So it actually started with Resident Evil 2. I fell in love with the game, and from a stupid commercial, to be honest with you. I saw the crocodile come out to get Leon, and for whatever reason, that made me want to not only buy the game, but I had to go out and buy PlayStation. So I didn't even have. This is how much this commercial meant to me. So I got the game and I brought it home and we had to rent. We rented the game and I tried to play it and I hadn't played anything since like Atari. Like I didn't play it. So like Leon is just walking into the fire. I could not get him to do anything and I got all mad about it. And I threw the controller and my brother comes in, picks it up and starts playing and I was like, what the hell? I was like, get out of my room. So I started playing it and I was addicted to it and I fell in love with it and I started role playing as Claire Redfield for about 15 years. And I love the whole horror genre. I love zombies and all that stuff. And I just came up with this story of this girl she's an angel descendant and he's a demon descendant. They're soulmates and them being together screws up this whole plan that this person had, and she was created from this weapon. And this is actually what started the whole thing. For some reason, 17 years ago, I thought of this little soul weapon that this angel, Ramil, he carries around to judge souls with. He takes the souls, he takes them to heaven, and uses to judge it. And that's what started the whole thing. This one little weapon, and then this whole story grew from just around this, and it turned into a simple little RP story, and just with my co-writer, our ideas just rocketed. Like we're kind of upset that the title Never Ending Story is taken because ideas just keep coming. And like every day we're like, we're never gonna top this idea, and then we're like, we have to do this idea the next day. So the story is just so complex and it's got so many layers to it that it was just so much fun, and the characters are so alive. And I write for Serafina, and she writes for Draven, and it
Okay.
makes it a lot more unique because it's from two different perspectives.
Okay.
So it's like the characters really are two different people, and
Okay.
that helps a lot. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just about to ask. So, I feel like that would create a unique writing dynamic since you guys are technically writing for two different people. I feel like. So, do you feel like it makes do you feel like it makes like the relationship and the dialogue between those two more authentic since it's two writers working with one character?
Yeah, it's because if you're writing for two characters, in your mind it's the same character. It's just one person controlling both. But here, I react to what she writes, and my reaction is completely a surprise to me because I don't know what she's gonna write. So when she writes back and I have to react to it, which our reactions are the favorite things. What is this person gonna do to it? It makes it completely unique. I don't know what he's gonna say, and she doesn't know what I'm gonna say. So yeah, it makes them completely different personalities. So when you read the dialogue, you're reading from two different people, um, and you can kind of see like when we first started, especially in issue or chapter one, we just met, me and her, and we didn't know each other. And you could tell the closer we got, the closer the characters got, and we're like sisters now. We're super close. It's been 3 years, and this September will be 3 years. Feels like forever, in a good way, not like not like torturous. But yeah, it's just it's so unique, and I still look forward to it. Like we still write chapters back and forth weekly, and I get so excited when I get so excited when I'm getting pages from my artist. Like it's you think I'd get sick of it, but I get so hyper. Just be like, my artist sent me 3 pages today, and I was like, these are awesome. Like I love seeing it, and this is his first paid gig too, by the way. This artist.
Okay.
So
Well,
he's learning with us, and he's amazing. And you can already tell by the fourth cover, how much better his skill is getting. It's just phenomenal, and he's really good at manipulating panels and all this. I don't tell him. I just we kind of butt heads at first, because I had panels and I expected like every other artist just give him the sheet and he just does panel, but he doesn't do that. He does this whole action layout thing way better than I could have. And when I realized his style, I cut back on how many panels I used. So I used to write 5 to 6 panels, and now I do 3 to 4, so that he has more freedom to like expand them and add action to it, and it worked out really good. So now we're a really good team, and the whole thing just flows. Like, I think one page was cursed in issue 1. It needed changing, like, I kid you not, at least 8 times. Everything else was fine. This one page, it was always something, and it was driving us crazy. If it wasn't such a pivotal point in the story, I would have been like, just cut it out. But it was kind of like one of the biggest scenes that was going on, so I was like, it has to work out. But yeah.
Right, and you talk about you talk about the artists and whatnot, and I'm looking at these panels. When you were, when you were talking with your artists, what was the kind of art you were striving for,
So
or
it's
art style, I mean.
to be honest, like, I didn't even really know what I wanted. We spent a fortune on trying to find the artist. I think we went through thousands of dollars getting sample pages after sample pages, and there were good artists. Some of them were not good artists, but some of them were great artists, but it just didn't look like the characters we had in our head. Like, we would look at them and like, that's not them, or there's no chemistry between them. And so by the time he came along, I had posted my story, and I actually had a couple of people that were willing to do the story for free and then like sharing it. And I had a couple of people doing like test pages. And he said, "Are you accepting? Are you up for commissions or anything?" And I said, "Well, I have 5 pages right now that are being sent to me for free. They're working on it. If you want to do a free page, I'll look at yours right now. If not, I'll pay you if I don't pick them." And
Right.
the style he showed me was nothing like this. And I'm not gonna say I don't like it, because that sounds wrong. It was really like realistic. Like, it was because he did portraits before. He didn't really work on comics. So I was like, I don't really want like like realistic people. I want like comic book. So I wasn't sure what to do. So he sent me a page, and instantly I'm like, that's our characters. Like, it was like, yeah, you're hired. There's like no question of it. Even my co-writer, and she's pickier than me. She's like, oh, that Draven's the hardest. I don't know why. Like, she's a blonde chick, so only I think one person made it where I was like, that is not anyone I would look at. But with Draven, it was just never perfect. It was always something off. And when he showed it, it was instantaneous. Yeah, that's Draven right there. That's Draven. So
Okay.
yeah. So the style's his. We didn't even know what the heck we wanted. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you said that you guys paid thousands of dollars for like to find artists and whatnot. Would you say like that was probably the most difficult part to your startup?
Yes, and it was not only difficult in the sense of we just could not find somebody. It was like heartbreaking to see our characters like ruined or whatever they were doing, and then we actually were losing hope, because I would say like it had to be at least 30 something artists. Um and it was so like, this is never going to work out. And even my husband's like, what about like AI or something? I was like, I won't use AI. I said, it has to be somebody that can do it. Somebody out
Right.
there will do it. And fortunately, we found him, and it's so funny because I always say I'm so lucky to have him, and my husband's like, then stop yelling at him. I was like, I'm not yelling at him. But he's every time I had to leave a message, I because I'm Italian, I'm like really I'm animated. So, but my artist knows we work out. But it was just so funny because my husband's like, stop yelling at him. I was like, I'm not yelling at him. Um, but yeah, it took, the first issue was the hardest to work out, and to get it settled, because like I said, we kind of butt heads on it. He had a style and I had a style, and And once I fixed my panels, it worked out great. And then by the second issue he did, he's like, I know these characters now. Like he's like, I got this, and he was so on the money. Um, and now it's just he says it's just a second nature thing. He promised, I don't know, he promises to do. We have 80 issues written already, so he
Oh wow.
promised to stay for the whole thing. So, and we plan to do at least one book a year. So he's got to stay around for like 10 years. I don't know what to tell you. He doesn't have
Well, I
a choice.
mean, as long as the money, right? I'm sure he'll stay. I'm sure he'll
Yeah,
stay.
yeah, he's enjoying it. Yeah. So and he's fast. I mean, he is an instant gratification's dream come true. Like 3 pages a day, Monday through Friday, and he went away for a month, and he just got back Monday. He went away for a month, and it killed us. We were like withdrawal central. We're like, we can't do this. And my husband's like, don't bother him. And I was like, I'm not gonna bother him. So 2 weeks in, my co-writer and I are like, we're dying here. We need something. And he writes to us and says, I know I'm on vacation, but I miss drawing this guy. But he's like, I just need to get back. He goes, I cannot. And he started counting the days. And I go, it's an addicting story, right? He's like, yes, like absolutely, it's addicting. And I was like, you can't buy that kind of loyalty. So,
Well, I mean that also does, I feel like it makes the process a whole lot smoother when everybody is, addicted to making the material. Everybody, they can't wait to get back to the material, so that's always a plus. Now, I see you're going the Kickstarter route. How would you say it's been rough, to fund the comic, where it's been smooth? How has it
um,
been?
So we've done two, but really the first one was like I like to say a soft opening.
Hmm.
It was a different artist, and it wasn't very good. And it was a story, but it was a hot mess. And we lost like 5 grand on it. We had to replace it. We had
Ooh.
him actually. Yeah, it hurt. Let me tell you. And my husband wasn't thrilled about it either. But it had to be redone. The artist stole 3 grand, and then we tried to fix it for 2 grand. Like I had to hire all these people to fix it. When it was done, I was just not happy with it. And this artist did issue two, and I talked to like 20 people asking, "Do you think I need to redo one?" And they all said no, and I still did it, so I didn't listen at all. Which I got yelled at, like you didn't listen at all. I was like, I know, but it had to look right. You know what I mean? Like it did not look right. And he fixed it. He went and he redid one, and it turned out so much better than I thought it was ever going to be. So my second campaign was technically to me my first, and like idiots, we released all three at once, like it was a cluster of disaster trying to put all these in there, and it went pretty good. We brought in 2,800 and 77 backers, which was good. But now I'm terrified for the next one because it's after they read it. So like, are they going to come back and get four and all this stuff? We have 55 followers right now, which is good. Because my very very first one we only had like 25, so we already doubled that one.
Yeah,
Um,
gotta
but
start somewhere.
so I like Kickstarter. I don't like their payment method. They don't take payment out till the end. So like
Right.
someone pledged $400 and then didn't pay it. So like we lost $400. Um, which I knew there was no way someone was doing 400, but still you're kind of like maybe. So besides that part, I think they should take the payments right away. Because credit cards fail and then you got to worry about it. So that's the only thing. But other than that, I like they just added pictures to rewards, so I'm excited about that. I think their setup is super easy.
Right.
They could do it could be a little bit more designing would be nice, but I wanted pictures more than anything. And I don't know, whatever reason they put them horizontal, which which sucks for comics. It's
Oh
better
yeah.
vertical. So the vertical it would have been better, but besides that, you can at least now see when you go into add-ons, you can see pictures now. So you don't have to remember what the add-on looked like, or because I have tons. I'm a merch person because I want the merch. So when I buy it for me and then make it available for someone else, it's tax deductible. So like my plushie, this is my plushie Anubis. So I wanted one so bad. I'm like, well, now he's tax deductible. So that worked out.
Dang, I kind of
Um,
want one now too.
yeah, he's got a little staff on him too that he holds.
Oh, that's nice. And it comes with the reward for the Kickstarter.
Yes, and I love him. And he's like my emotional support Anubis that just comes with me to the cons and stuff. And I love him. But yeah, he's handmade. Somebody handmade him for me. And we have 3D little Anubises. Anubis is super popular. Um, like everyone loves Anubis. And he fortunately, the only thing I had someone say was Anubis is an Egyptian god. He is not a bad guy. I was like, he's not a bad guy. He's being controlled. Relax. Read the story. But he comes and he's part of them later on, so everyone will be thrilled. But yeah, everyone's like obsessed with Anubis, so I just went with it because we love him. He's like our unofficial mascot. So it
Okay.
worked out
I
good.
mean, yeah, I mean, I do like the design on Anubis, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do got something there. But before I ask my next question, let's go ahead and you know what? We're just going to show the Kickstarter, let people know what they could be in for. So let me just go ahead and add that screen. I'm a full size it. Hopefully, I'm gonna do that so we can see it better. No, that does not make it better. Okay, okay, how about that? Maybe y'all can see that. Can you see that? I can't see it. It looks
Oh,
very
that's the
small.
old one.
Oh, that's the old one. Hold,
Yeah.
let me go over to the update. Okay, okay, hold on.
And
Give me
we're
a
still
sec.
working on it. So what you'll see is the pre-launch. If you go to the link that I sent you, you kind of see what we have so far. Can you click on the link that I sent you?
Let me go
Yeah,
to.
that
Let
you
me.
where you got the video is where you could see it. And
Okay,
it's
okay,
still being worked on because it's a pre-launch, but there are pictures of some of the merch we have and stuff like that. We just
okay.
have to
Give me.
add some of the internal pages because he's working on them now. He's quick
Okay,
though. I mean, he started Monday and we have 8. So
just give me a second. Yeah, people will get to see the behind the scenes. Oh, I'm big now. Uh, Let me just go ahead and do that. I think we back. Are we back? Yes, we are back. So let's just go down and see what you. Yeah. So let's like you said, that their goal is 1,000. Let's try to get them to their goal. And trying to see. Yep. So let's just start with the pledges. Uh,
yeah,
five.
whatever.
Yeah. For $5 or more, you get that. You get that PDF of issue one. Wait, of issue one. Okay.
So
Then
yeah, you could catch up. So you could do $5 for issue 1, but there's also the $5 for issue 4, or you can do all 4 for $15 for the PDF. So and you get both the color and the black and white because we have both.
Oh yeah, both. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Only for the PDFs is the only way to get those.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then
Now
the
where?
$10 is the printed version. And then we have a couple of variants. So that variant right there, if you could
Oh, that's
see,
kind of cool.
yeah. So that the one on the right, the black and white one. The one on the left is issue 2, and that's from the artist Ian Chase Nichols. He does Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and The Tick. The one on the right is an artist, Ken Hunt. He actually worked in DC for years, and he worked on inking and penciling Batman and Harley Quinn and all those. And the colorist is Cece, who is currently the internal artist for Lady Death Universe, which is, I love Lady Death. So
Okay.
yeah, she's working on it right now. She's driving me crazy because I want to see it so bad.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they got a lot of goodies here, so definitely, go ahead and help my girl out. So you said that you have color and black and white
Mhm.
in the PDF versions, right?
Yep. Yep.
So I'm guessing for like for the physical copies, they're only in black and white.
They're only color.
Oh, they're only color.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now that was my next question because color. If people that know comics, saying like making a comic book, color is not cheap.
No. No, no, no. Not only is it not cheap, I had to go against what everyone said and do like the thick page glossy, thing because his art is super dark and it just looks amazing on glossy.
Right.
And I just had there's one where they're under the moon. I'm like it glossy just makes it look so amazing.
Yeah.
And he did such a great job, and we have little details and to feel. I mean, the book. I think I just mailed one, and it was like a pound and a half. You have to do like the four
Oh,
issues, so they're heavy books, but and they're not short. I mean, these are the first one's 28. Yeah, 28 pages, and the other two, three are 32 pages. Um, issue 4 is only 28. I shouldn't say only, but it's 28. So book 1 is 7 issues, but the last issue 7 is pretty much double because it's 46 pages. So I just kept adding. So it's like I had to add a fight between their fathers, and Anubis is there, and the Hellhounds are there, and I just got carried away. Um,
I'm
but
about to
yeah.
say, I'm about to say, as many pages you got, you might have a compendium at some point.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the graphic novel for book 1 is 236 pages, I think. So it's not a small book. Um, and I was looking through. So I'm doing the scripts for book 2 because they're I'm converting them, and I think I did chapter 3 today. So I was just like, I'm gonna go look at book 3 because I forgot how big it was. It's 103,000 words, so it's gonna be
Woo!
about 10 or 11 issues. And I was like, well, but it's one of the, I'm not gonna say the best because everyone's the best, but it's pretty much Resident Evil 2. So it's
Ooh.
like, they're caught in the city, and the experiments were made from their blood, so it's like the experimental gone wrong. And instead of Mr. X and Nemesis, you have Anubis, going through the walls and chasing him down. So you've got all this stuff happening. So yeah, a ton happens, but I just did not realize it was so long. I was like, wow, that'll be fun to script. But that's one of my favorite books. That was the whole story was wrapped around that one, and we based all the other books, for that. And it worked out so perfectly. And we didn't write them in order. They're in order, but when we wrote them, we would skip around to our favorite scene, like which scene you want to do, or we'd wake up and like I had a dream we have to do it today, and we'd write out this scene. It was awesome. So
Yeah,
we're horrible. We're horribly addicted to this.
yeah, I might have to get that one because for people that know me, horror is my favorite genre especially when it comes to video games.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 remake, I played that thing 5 times. I loved it.
Well,
I
issue 1 is Silent Hill. So I don't know if you played Silent
Oh, I
Hill.
love Silent Hill.
So you're gonna have to watch issue 1. Issue 1, they're trapped in a hell town and they can't get out, and it's merging with hell. And the hellhounds come through, the zombies come through, all the entire town is dead, so all the ghosts are after them. And the very last page, if I could show you, is she's attacked by a zombie merman.
Zombie Merman.
Yeah, and she fights him underwater in issue 2. Um, and yeah, it's very chaotic in issue 1, but it's in the name, so no one can yell at me. So it's very chaotic. A lot happens. It kind of balances out in issue 3. Issue 4, we introduced our version of vampires. We call it a subspecies, so somebody can't yell and be like, "It's not vampires." It's a subspecies. It's actually based more on myth than most are, because originally vampires could go in the sun. They just didn't, but they didn't burn up. Um, the thing that's unique about ours is every time I watched vampires, especially like in Buffy, which I love. I love Buffy.
Right.
When they cut the vampires, they bleed. So it's like that's not how this works. So these vampires are called clotters, and their heart beats every 6 hours, just enough so that they don't go into rigor mortis. So if you cut them, it's like this disgusting black pudding mess of blood that comes out. And you can only kill them by beheading them or fire. And if they don't feed directly from a human, they actually start to deteriorate and start to decompose. So they start looking like, zombies, actually. And they can't feed off of anything else. Like if they can feed off of animals and the bags, but eventually it won't work and they'll start to decompose. Now, the thing about them is they all have a hive mind. So whatever group was made together, if one of them tastes a human and it doesn't die, they can track that person anywhere. So all of them at the same time have that same honing beacon for them. Plus, they can all talk to each other and communicate with each other. And if one's destroyed, they will hunt you down until you're gone. So
Yeah, so basically you fucked.
yeah. No, basically, yeah. So of course she's gonna get bit by one. And now because of that, they wind up killing one, and then they have to go on a hunt to destroy this entire warehouse full of vampires before they get out and track them down. So, yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
seems like you have inspiration from a splash of Resident Evil, a
Yep.
dash of Silent Hill, and probably a sprinkling of Supernatural in there.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, um, we kind of gearing towards the end, but I'm about to ask some of the fun questions I like to ask people. All right, so if this, say, if you were to have this adapted, right? You know,
Yeah.
live on-screen adaptation, who would you want casted as your main characters?
Oof. See, who we want are too old now. Like that's it, we wanted. I shouldn't call them old, but they're older. So mine was Christian Kane, and for her was Alana Tao from Supernatural as Joe.
Okay.
So we still want them, but they're older. So for young, I'm not sure what I would choose, but they better be hot because they're are, you know. The main thing is they have to have chemistry. That's the main thing.
Okay.
But I got to tell you, if I could choose how to adapt it, I would honestly love a rated R animated series. Like I just
Okay.
think you could do so much more. It could be gory. You can, do it for as long without having to worry about them age or quitting on you or whatever. So if I had to choose, that's what I would choose is the animated series. Rated
Yeah, like
R. Has to be
yeah,
rated R.
like yeah, like looking at this style, I feel like this would work perfect with the people that
Yeah.
did the Castlevania franchise. I feel like
Oh,
I feel like it
yeah.
would I feel like it would look perfect. Now, who would you want directing it?
Oh, um, so many good choices. Actually, I just because I like the weird humor in it, I would probably have to have Edgar Wright because I love Shaun of the Dead.
Oh,
So
that's
if I
my favorite.
I
One
would
of my
have to
favorite zombie
choose.
movies.
Yeah, if I had to choose, I love Edgar Wright, and I met Simon Pegg because when I was watching Spaced, he was playing Resident Evil 2, so I sent him I had a special edition Leon card from the trading cards, so I mailed it to him, and he sent me back a letter with my name on it, which and a signed thing and everything that I have here. So I think it was like 10 years later, I went to New York City to meet him. And I said, "You're not going to remember this, but I sent you something in the mail." It was a card. He goes, "Yeah, Leon, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, he still has it." So I was like, "You just made my entire lifetime right here." So, and he's super nice, like the nicest guy ever. Very, very modest. Doesn't know anyone likes him. He thinks that he's nothing. So very down to earth. But yeah,
Well,
Edgar Wright, man, I think that would be awesome.
yeah, I honestly I would probably like that because, like I said, Shaun the Dead. I love Shaun the Dead. Hot Fuzz
Yeah.
was hilarious.
Yes, and so clever. They had so many cool things. Like it made so much sense. The details they gave you, and then none of it fit. Like it was just
Yeah.
like none of it fit. Whenever you watch like crime, because I have my actually a bachelor's in criminal justice. So when you watch true crime all the evidence points to this one person, you're like, "There's no way it's not them," and it's not them, and you're like, "What?" So that's how it was at Hot Fuzz. So you're like, "This is exactly what the story is," and then no, it wasn't. So he's very clever. Yeah,
Yeah, and like you said, Simon Pegg is awesome. I
so good.
like when I was watching The Boys, and I was like, oh man, Simon Pegg's too old to be in it. Then when I
Yeah.
saw him and his dad, he was there, like, oh, that's Simon Pegg. I mean, that's the original Huey.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So.
So okay, if you were making a Mount Rushmore of comic book writers or artists, whichever you prefer, who would be on your Mount Rushmore?
Mine, obviously. um, but man, you make the hard questions, man. I will say, like, I can't think of name, but I would have the original artist for Ghost Rider and Nightwing. Those are my two I love. But Ghost Rider was my character. That's what I read all of them. Johnny Blaze and Danny and Spirits of Vengeance. So I love that artwork. Um, so yeah, I do have those. Um, I'm trying to think of I haven't read a mainstream comic in like forever.
Well, okay, let's switch it up then. Mount Rushmore for horror directors.
Oh. Can we put the monsters on there instead? Because I would put Freddy Krueger on there.
Okay, we can do monsters. We can do monsters. We can do monsters.
I
Okay,
would do Freddy Krueger is my favorite
okay.
because when I know this is real too young. I was 6 but that's the first time I saw Freddy Krueger, Dream Warriors, and
Best one in
this
my opinion.
yeah, and this yeah, it's my favorite. And the scene that I saw, and it's still my favorite, is when he was playing the guy with the veins as the marionette.
Oh yeah.
That's what I saw. I'm watching from the stairs. I don't even know who was watching it, and I loved it. Um, the next one,
You got three more.
let me think. Um, see, I like Jason, but I guess you could put Jason on there. I'm not sure
Okay.
if I like Myers. Like I like him, but he wasn't like the my favorite. You know, I liked him, but I don't know if I want him on my Mount Rushmore.
Sorry,
Maybe
Mike.
he's a
Sorry,
classic.
Michael.
Yeah,
Sorry,
he's a
Michael.
classic. I guess we have to put he's a classic. You have to have those three, right? Aren't those like the three that
Well, I mean, well, now you're technically going for killers, not really monsters. I mean, like,
yeah. Oh, if you're gonna do monsters, well then you have to have Dracula and the Mummy and
yeah,
Black Lagoon. Yeah, you're
yeah.
right. That's more.
But, but we're already on the killers now, so you can just go
Yeah.
ahead and put the killers on there.
So yeah. So Freddy Krueger. We'll put Jason. We'll put Michael because he earned his place, even though some of his movies make no sense. But we'll let that go. And fourth.
I won't. I won't. That last movie was bad.
Yeah, that movie was pretty bad. And then they like skipped them, like, oh, this didn't really happen. Like they didn't stick to their own canon movies, like, yeah. And then yeah, I'm trying to think who would want. I kind of want it. I'll put it up there, but like in his original form, like that really creepy, disgusting,
Oh, okay.
bug form. It's the only movie as a kid that I don't even think I was a kid. I think I was a teenager. It scared me, and the fact that that when he's in the did you see the original It?
Oh yeah, I saw the Tim
Yeah.
Curry yet.
Yeah. I love Tim Curry. He was great in Legend too as yeah. Anyway, we can go on back and forth all day. There's this part where he comes through the shower in the schools and it makes this goggling sound. My parents' shower made that. So like when I was washing my hair, I keep my eyes open on the drain just in case. So I have to put it on there. So yeah.
Yeah, like unpopular opinion. Like I love Tim Curry, but
Yeah.
maybe because like I watched when I was a little bit older. I like okay, this isn't really as scary as people say. This is just really more silly. Now the Ben Skarsgård that was terrifying because not only he just like to fuck with people. He just
He was a little meaner. Yeah.
yeah he was a
Yeah.
little bit meaner
I
and
would
his
say, I would say he was more ruthless.
I liked his design more because it looked more scary. Well, probably
Yeah.
because that big ass forehead he had.
Yeah. See, but the whole point was he wasn't supposed to look scary. He was supposed to, make the kids not fear him and come to him.
Right.
Um, so, but then, I mean, it contradicts itself when you think about it, because the original part was he was supposed to be a clown to bring them in, but then he lived off of their fear. So, I don't
Yeah.
know. Except for he didn't mess with Georgie for whatever reason. So there's a plot hole for you. Like, what was he just hungry that day? He was just like,
Yes.
yeah,
He like fuck it. I'm hungry.
yeah. He's like
I'm
some
gonna have
fast food.
I'm gonna have this appetizer real quick.
Yeah. Oh, you know what you'll like, real quick? Every single one of the issues has an Easter egg from either a horror game, movie, or urban legend, and if you find them all in book one, then you get a prize, a free 3 statue. But
Ooh.
for issue one, it has 2 meanings in it. So in issue one, on the first page they're together, I don't know if you can see it, but there's an alligator in the sewer. The
I
crocodile
can
in the sewer.
kind of see it.
Yeah. So that is, I say for the urban legend for people, but it's Resident Evil because that's
Oh, okay.
I started writing because of the crocodile and Resident Evil. So I wouldn't be here without it. I can guarantee you. So that and Stay Alive, the movie Stay Alive, is
Oh,
what
yeah.
introduced me to role play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So horror movies galore. I could watch them all. I just saw what is it? Train to Busan. Did you ever see that?
I love that.
Yeah, I
in my,
just saw it for the first time. Like it was amazing.
in my opinion, it is. I don't see no other zombie movie topping that.
No.
That movie was amazing. I heard America's doing a remake.
Oh,
Why?
that.
Why?
Why?
Like why?
They'll screw it up. You know they're gonna screw it
Yeah.
up. They're gonna
Like
screw
I
it up.
Like I said, The Rock's gonna be in it for whatever reason.
Really?
No,
Oh,
I feel like they would just cast The Rock and like
they're
I
not in
just
the jungle. No, just kidding.
they'll
Yeah, probably.
they'll
You're
make
right.
it in the jungle somehow. The Rock ruined
I could totally
franchise.
see it going through the jungle instead of like going to
Look,
the bus station. Yeah, the station. Yeah,
look,
yeah.
I love The
That's a great
Rock.
movie. I'm glad I saw the original because I know they're gonna screw up the American one, and we're gonna be like, I don't know why everyone loved it so much. It's not that good. Well, go watch the original.
And
So,
don't get me wrong, I love The Rock, but
oh yeah.
I'm starting to see this man ruins franchises for me.
Yeah, I mean, I like him too, and in person, he seems like he'd be a really nice guy. But yeah, you can't put him in everything. He has a unique look. You know, you can't just throw him into everything and be like, there it is." So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Like my last straw with The Rock. I'm sorry, I'm going on a little tangent. My last straw with The Rock was that damn Black Adam movie.
I didn't watch it. I didn't. I heard it was bad. So
It
watch it.
it was because he was trying so hard to distance himself from Shazam.
Yeah,
But
why though?
I'm like, but you're a Shazam
Yeah,
villain.
yeah.
Uh,
I don't get why they did. I don't get why he did that. I mean, there was no reason to do that. I mean, it's part of it. Why
I
would you
mean,
not want to be part of it? Yeah, I don't
I
know.
mean, he
That's one of
looked
the
the
reasons why I
part.
didn't see it. I
He
haven't
looked the part.
seen. I feel bad. I don't feel bad, but I haven't watched probably what is this Phase 5? I haven't really watched Phase 5. Like
There's no need. I'm like,
yes,
no, like Ant-Man was a
I heard
huge
it was
disappointment.
bad. I heard it was
I
really
mean,
bad.
Jonathan Majors was good, but everything else, sucked.
Yeah.
But
Which one was that?
Jonathan Majors, who plays Kang, he was good, but everything else about the movie sucked.
Yeah, I heard it was bad. Yeah. And what else came out? What already came out? I missed whatever it is. There's something out. Was that it? Is that the first one? The only
For
one
Phase
I
Five, for
what is
Phase Five, yes.
yeah. I'm looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy because I love Guardians of the Galaxy, but I think because it's that humor and my music from back in the day. But I don't know. They'll probably screw it up this time anyway. So
I mean, I was a fan. I liked the first one.
yeah.
Second one, I wasn't really liking it because now everybody in the MCU was using Guardians humor, and it just made it unbearable.
Yeah. It
Third
really.
movie, I'm like, I'm not waiting. I mean, I have to see it because I have to review it, but I'm not paying money. I'm gonna tell you
No,
that right now.
I won't pay money for any of them anymore. I mean, nothing really sparks my interest to get me to go to the movie, and that's sad. I love the movies, man. I used to escape to movie theaters, so to not go to the movie theaters is like heartbreaking. But it's just I don't know. It's like what is it like $40 to go now? Like, I mean,
I am an AMC A-list member. Once again, AMC sponsor us. Um, so I get 3 free movies a week. So
uh,
that's
I
so
would
that's
go
it.
with that.
So it's $20 a month, 3 free movies a week. So it's a good deal
I
this
don't have
weekend.
AMC. You gotta.
Uh,
They're gonna have to bring it. We have Cinemark. Yeah, Cinemark.
I
They
mean,
do have
Cinemark.
good seats.
Cinemark. They do have the $10 membership, but you only get 1 movie a month.
Yeah,
So I feel like it's not worth it because, like,
that's how much
wow,
a movie cost. Why? Yeah, it's a little weird. I'm sure there's other perks to it. My brother used to be a the projector at the movie back in the day. They
right.
don't really have them anymore. It's probably DVDs now. It's
Well,
like,
no, it's still the
is
projector, but
it? Okay.
it's like it's the digital. Like you don't have to feed film through. I don't know. I don't want to get into that nerdy talk.
Yeah.
But let's get back to your Mount Rushmore. I saw you. Okay, so you had Jason, Freddie, Mike, and Pennywise.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm kind of disappointed you didn't put my man Ghostface on there.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he can replace Michael.
I'm, you know, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that because after watching Scream 6, I
Yeah.
was like, wow, this is the most consistent horror franchise out there.
I haven't seen 6. I want to. That's actually one of the ones I was looking forward to.
In my opinion, I would say go see it because it is
Really?
in my opinion, it's the second best Scream film. Of course, you know the first one,
Really? Well, yeah.
and in some eyes, it might be better than the first one. But like, it's kind of hand in hand. But I'd say go watch it. Like I said, the Scream franchise has always been consistent. Only
Yeah.
one that sucked was 3. Yeah, 3 was the only one that was bad.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. I kind of blocked it from my memory.
Yeah, I think everybody did.
No, but you're right, man. That's right. I was waiting for that. See, now that I don't go to the theater, I don't see all the previews I'm supposed to see. I have no idea what's coming out. So now I'll have to, well, you show, right? I'll have to make sure I watch all your shows so you can tell me what to go watch.
Oh yeah, I'll keep you updated. Trust me, I'll let you know whether you spend your money or
Good.
not. My co-stars, they think that I'm a little bit too hard, but like, no, I'm grading it because if I'm paying money to see the movie, you damn right I'm gonna critique this shit.
Yeah. Plus, if we
Like,
go, we're just gonna blame you. So.
yeah, I'm used to it. I'm used to
Aw,
it.
that's not nice.
Like John Wick 4 coming out this weekend, I'm excited to see it. That's 3 hours of my life. I'm gonna have to.
It's 3 hours.
Yes. I like, damn, how many people can John Wick kill in 3 hours? Uh,
It's a long time. That's the only movie that I got through in 3 hours without phasing me was probably the end of the Marvel movies. So
oh,
that's
Endgame.
yeah. I mean, I think it went like I could. This is how I know how much I like a movie is how much I look at my watch. Like with Wakanda Forever, I liked Wakanda Forever, but I was bored like right in the middle. So like I
Yeah, the
don't know.
middle is the middle is like I love Wakanda Forever, but I will say like the middle is kind of slow
Yeah.
because
It wasn't bad. It was just slow, and I remember looking at my watch. I was like, "Well, that's one watch," but I did like it, and I liked that Neymar or they kept saying his name wrong, different or whatever.
Namor. No,
Yeah,
that says sexy. Namor.
yeah, no more. But yeah, I like a lot of people hated it, but I liked it. But like I said, it was a little slow in the middle for me.
Right.
But other than that, it wasn't bad at all. I knew there was a is that phase 5 or not phase 5?
That was the end of Phase 4.
Ah, I gotcha. All right, then I've only seen this phase 4, but with Endgames, I didn't even know. Like 3 hours went by. I was just like glued to the screen. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
and remember y'all,
yeah.
Scott Lang saved us all.
That's
Uh,
right.
oh, and that rat. Don't forget that rat. That rat
Yeah,
deserves
that
his
little
flowers
rat.
too.
Yeah, that's
So,
important. I have a rat. See, he's in the prequel. So.
okay. So, before we get up out of here, where can the people find you at?
Okay, so you could search Worthy Chaos anywhere and you'll find us, but the best place to find us is Twitter. We're on there. We're at Worthy_Chaos or just search Worthy Chaos. But to find the actual book, we're in pre-launch now, so you can go to Kickstarter and just search Worthy Chaos, and we're the only thing that pops up. And that will go live April 18th. And you can also find old versions if you don't want to wait for that. You can go to worthychaoscomics.com, and we have a website where you could buy the PDFs for $5 in there, and you download them instantly. So it works out really good.
I'm definitely going to have to get them physical copies because there's something about having the physical copy in my hand. I legit have. I'm looking at a stack of comics, of indie comics that I bought. Like I said on my last interview, went to a comic convention locally.
Yeah.
Was like, I'm not gonna spend money. Then I wound up spending $50 on comics. I'm like, well,
I have 11 cons this year. 11,
oh,
and I've never done one, so 11's like I'm gonna die. But actually, tomorrow, I leave tomorrow for Lexington. It's a 4-day con for my first major con. 4 days. So let's see if I survive that one.
well, hopefully, you come through my neck of the woods in
Next
Texas.
year, I'm gonna be there next June.
All
I'm gonna
right.
be there with Lori. We're gonna have a table at the. I think
Okay.
it's Fan. Is it Fan something Fan?
Fan Expo.
Yeah, Fan Expo. So I'll have a table there with my. I don't have it up because it's packed, but I have a huge banner of Anubis fighting a demon, and it's pretty cool. So I'll have that there. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to hold you too long. I had lots of fun talking to you for a little bit under an hour. I would definitely love to have you on for one of our shows. So you can
Absolutely.
see how
Yeah.
we maybe do a recent movie review or my favorites to do a bad movie reviews
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
where where
Anytime.
where I watch a movie 3 times. Don't ask why I have to watch 3 times. I pull clips from the movie, and then we just roast that movie.
If you want to see a bad movie that I haven't watched yet, but I think and I don't think there's a one, but it's Raccoons 2 or The Killer Raccoons 2. You gotta look it up, but it looks
I've not seen.
awful. It's like stuffed raccoons, and they just throw them at each. I don't know how it's a real movie. my husband swears it's a parody, but I don't think it is. I think it's just very, very low budget. But it is an actual movie, and you have to pay for it. It's not even free. So I haven't seen it yet, but it's very tempting. So
It sound like those old 70s and them old 70s and 80s low budget where they just had
yes,
stuffed
but
animals.
it's like 3 years old. I don't even think it's 3 years old.
Oh,
So
that's
I'll send you
horrible.
a link, and you tell me.
Okay, but I think the next one we're doing, probably in honor of Dungeons and Dragons, we'll probably review the old Dungeons and Dragons with Marlon Wayans.
Yes, I love that one. I actually loved it. I don't care how people thought it was corny, but it worked. I loved it. I loved
well,
it.
well, we're probably gonna do that for the bad movie review because I do remember that one. I
It is a
remember,
bad movie. Yeah,
I,
it is
I,
absolutely.
and that's the thing. People, just because a movie's bad doesn't mean you can't like it.
Oh, I
Like,
loved it, but it was a bad movie. You got to give it. It is a bad movie, but
oh yeah.
I loved it. But
Oh
I
no.
loved it. Yeah,
the
yeah,
the just the film errors in that movie just makes it hilarious.
yeah. And the makeup. I mean, it's
Yes.
yeah, the makeup's a little crazy.
But we're gonna save that for y'all for probably either this weekend or probably earlier in the week next week. But uh, I've had fun talking to you,
Yes,
Carissa.
great.
We
Yeah.
about to we about to get up out of here. You guys know where to find me. Bring the popcorn. Actually, type in www.bringthepopcorn.com. We have a website now, y'all.
Woohoo.
Go ahead and follow us. Our shop is there. All of our episodes. There are links to all of our social medias and our platforms. And yeah, you know where to find us. Now, Miss Carissa, where can they find you personally? Can they find you anywhere you don't want to be found?
No,
Are you hiding from the
yeah,
IRS?
you could add me on Facebook. It's Carissa Grant, and I add people all the time. I talk to anybody, so I don't care. I'm very friendly. I'm very open. I'll talk to anybody. You can add me on, and just as long as you have something comic book related or horror related or something movie related in your profile, I will add whoever because I love that stuff. So yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, that does it for another interview. Once again, I have fun like I always have with these talented creatives. Can't wait to have you back on the show. But
Thanks.
uh, but y'all, until next time, remember when you come to these interviews and reviews, just remember to always bring the popcorn. All right, y'all. We are out of here.